Question 38 continued. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. Determine the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 out of their next 8 games. Question 38. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. Determine the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 out of their next 8 games. That means we want them to win 6 out of 8. So that's, you have 8 games, combination of 6. We also want them to win 7 out of their 8 games, 8 combination 7. And we also want them to win 8 out of 8 games, which is 8 combination 8. Because we want to know the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 of the next games. At least 6 means either 6 out of 8, or 7 out of 8, or 8 out of 8. Well, what's the probability of winning? 2 over 3. 2/3 of the time they usually win. And what's the probability of not winning? 1/3 of the time. So, the probability of them winning 6 out of the 8 times that we want, that will be 8 combination 6 times the amount of times you want them to win, which is 6 times 2/3, because 2/3 is the amount of time you want the person to win. Question 38. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. That means the probability of them not winning is 1 over 3. Determine the probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 of their next 8 games. So we want them to win, that we'll know to the nearest thousandth. So at least 6, the question is, we want to know the probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 of the next 8 games. So they could win either 6 out of 8, or 7 out of 8, or 8 out of 8. Now how do you work it out? What you do it's 8 games, combination of 6 games they're supposed to win, times the probability of them winning, and that thing multiplied 6 times, because we want them to win each time. Let's say they won the first game, the probability of them winning the first time is 2 out of 3. The probability of them winning the second time is also 2 out of 3. However, the probability of them winning one game after another is 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. And the probability of them winning a third game in a row is another 2 over 3. And if you multiply that together, that will give you question 38. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2/3 of the time, 2 over 3. Determine the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 out of their next 8 games. So the probability of them winning is 2 over 3. The probability of them winning a second time is times 2 times in a row. It's just again times 2 over 3. The probability of them winning a third time is also 2 over 3. And you do that another 3 times, it'll be 2 over 3 to the 6th power. So the probability of them winning at least 6 times is, first, they're going to win 6 times. They could win 6 out of 8, 7 out of 8, or 8 out of 8. All of them are at least 6 out of the 8 times. So the probability of them winning the 6 times in the next 8 games is 8 combination 6 times 2 over 3. And it's 6 games, so it's 2 over 3 times 2 over 3, meaning 2 over 3 to the 6th power. Times, if they're winning 6 games, then they're going to lose 2. So you have to multiply into that probability that they're also going to lose twice. And losing, if they're winning 2/3 of the time, then they're losing 1/3 of the time. So it's the probability of of winning, which is 2 over 3, multiplied to the 6th power. So it's 8 combination 6 times 2 over 3 to the 6th power, times the amount of times you want them to lose, which is 1 over 3 to the 2nd power. And that will equal to about this sign over here, like this, means about, or similar to, 0.27313. And if they the second time, you put in your calculator, that you do both times, you do 8, and you press the math button, you press the left cruiser button, and you go down twice. 3 it says NCR, press enter. Combination the 7 times, let's do that again. 8, math, go to the left, go down, press enter by NCR. 7 times, and multiply, and question 38. The probability that Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. Question 38. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. That means 2 out of 3 games. Determine the probability to the nearest thousandth, with a TH at the end, that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 of their next 8 games. So they could win 6 out of 8 games, or 7 out of 8 games, or 8 out of 8 games, because we want them to win at least 6 out of 8 games. So the probability of winning 6 out of 8 games is 8 combination 6 times the amount of times you want them to win, and the probability that they will win. So the probability that they will win is 2 out of 3, and we want them to win 6 times, so it's 2 out of 3 to the 6th power, times the amount of times we would want them to lose. Because if they're supposed to win 6 out of 8 times, so they're going to lose 2 out of 8 times, and the probability of them losing is 1/3, so it's 1/3, and they're going to lose 2 times, so it's to the 2nd power. So again, it's 8 combination 6 times 2 over 3 to the 6th power, because you want them to win 6 times, times 1 over 3 is the probability of losing to the 2nd power, because you want them to lose 2 times. When you put that together, that's equal to, for this you'll need your calculator for. You open up your calculator, you do first 8, and then press the math button, press to the left once, go down twice, and press enter when you're on NCR, that's the number, which is 8 wins, combination of 6 times. So press enter over there, and when you have 8 NCR on your computer, on your calculator, press 6, and then press enter. So that will equal to 28. And then multiplied by 2, press the, it will not work like that, so. Question 38. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. Determine the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 of the next 8 games. Well, that is 8 combination 6 means that you have 8 and you want a combination of them winning 6 times, and you want them to win, so it's multiplied by. Question 38. The probability that the Stormville Sluggers will win a baseball game is 2 over 3. Determine the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Stormville Sluggers will win at least 6 of their 8 games. Again, determine the probability to the nearest thousandth that the Sluggers will win at least 6 of their next 8 games. So, they could win, you have 8 games with a combination of 6. because you want them to win 6 out of 8. That's the same thing as you have 8 people and you want to pick 6 out of the 8 people. So how many different combinations can you make? The answer is you can make 8 combination 6, which is just written out 8 factorial over 8 minus 6 factorial times 6 factorial, which is equal to 8 times 7 times 6 factorial, and 8 minus 6 is 2, and it's factorial. 2 factorial is just 2 times 1, so it's 2 times 6 factorial. So 8 times 7 times 6 factorial just becomes 8 times 7, and divided by 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so it's 4 times 7 is 28. So that would be if you just want to pick 6 out of 8 people. What happens, or you just want to pick 6 out of 8 games? How about in the 6 out of 8 games that you pick, you want those 6 games, you want them to win? Well, then to make them win, the probability of winning a game is 2 over 3. The probability of losing is 1 over 3. Because 2/3 of the game they win, that means 1/3 of the games they lose. So to make sure that they win at least 6 out of 8 games, with those amount of combinations, it's 8 combination 6 times 2 over 3, and we want them to win that 6 times, so that's to the 6th power. That means the probability of them winning 6 times is 2 over 3 times 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 2 over 3, which is 2 over 3 to the 3rd power, times 1 over 3 to the 2nd power, because you want them to lose 2 games. So it's 8 combination 6 times 2 over 3 to the 6th power times 1 over 3 to the 2nd power, which is equal to 0.27312900962. And we asked to determine the probability that they would win at least 6 of the next 8 games. So this is the probability that they'll win 6 games. Plus, you have to add the probability of them winning 7 out of 8 games, and you also have to add the probability of winning 8 out of 8 games, because they could either win 6 out of 8 games, 7 out of 8 games, or 8 out of 8 games. So you add that all up. So you add the probability of 8. We're not adding it yet. So also 8 combination 7, because 7 out of 8 games they have to win, and since they have to win 7 games, so the probability of them winning is 2 over 3, 2 out of 3 games. I want them to do that 7 times in a row, so it's to the 7th power. So it's 2 over 3 multiplied by itself 7 times. Times, if they're going to win 7 out of 8 games, so how many games are left if they won 7? There's only 1 left. So it's times 1 over 3 to the 1st power. So 8 combination 7 times 2 over 3 to the 7th power times 1 over 3 to the 1st power is equal to 0.15607376692. Now what's the probability of them winning 8 out of 8 games? That's 8 combination 8 times 2 to the 3rd, times 2 again. The probability of them winning 8 out of 8 games is 8 combination 8 times 2 over 3 to the 8th power times 1 over 3 to the 0 power, because if they win 8 out of 8 games, they're not losing any games. 1 over 3 to the 0 power, anything to the 0 power is just 1. So 8 combination 8 times 2 over 3 to the 8th power times 1 over 3 to the 0 power is equal to 0.03901844423. Now they ask you to determine the probability to the nearest thousandth. So one way you could do is, you can put this on your calculator and add it up. but we're very, very far down over here. All you have to do is to the nearest thousandth. So the whole, where the 0 is the ones place. Once you go over to the right, past the dot is the tens place. The 2 is in the tens place, the 7 is in the hundreds place, and the 3 is in the thousands place, and the 1 is in the 10,000s place. So it's 0.27312, and 2 you round down, so it stays as a 1. So it's 0.2731. The reason why I go into the 10,000s place is because at the end I want to give you an accurate answer. So I just go over to 1 digit, that's all I need. So, and I make a similar sign. This thing over here means similar about, because it's not, it's rounded. When it's rounded, it's about 0.2731. The next one, you go 0.15607. That gets rounded up to 0.156. The 0 beyond the 0 is a 7, so you round it up to 1. So 0 becomes a 1. And the next one is 0.03901, so it gets rounded down to 0. When you add these up, 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 plus 3 is 12. Plus 6 is 18. Put the 1 up here. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. Plus the 1 you put up there is 16. Put a 1 up here. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. So rounded to the 10,000s place, it's 0.4681. But they ask you to the thousands place. So what's beyond the 8? The 8 is in the thousands place. So what's in the 10,000s place? So 1. So 4 down, you round down. So it becomes 0.468, which is the answer. Which should be, so the final answer you should have is 0.68. 0.4, the final answer you should have is about, that means it's about, it's rounded to 0.468.